Hi everyone, it is Alex with Holistic Movement Pilates. Today I have a full body workout for you on the reformer using a dowel and a box. So go ahead, grab your dowel, grab your box. We are going to start with our boxes on our reformers. Long box can go on, you can just put it in front of your shoulder blocks. Foot bars are fine to stay up here. And then we are going to begin with one heavy spring, which on my balanced body reformer, reminder, that is one red spring here. I'm going to grab my dowel. We're going to sit on our boxes facing the straps, and then once we sit down, we're going to take the straps off of the pegs, and we are just going to go ahead and hang our long loops up around our dowel. Now, to make this a little easier, we are going to start with some core work, roll downs with the dowels. If you want a little easier, you can always go short loops through the dowel instead of the long loops. I'm going to sit as far forward as I can so I have plenty of space behind me. Feet are just going to be in my headrest, and then arms are going to start long, and we will have slack in these straps. I'm going to start by just exhaling, tucking my pelvis, and I'm going to start to roll my spine down into my box, one vertebrae at a time. Now, when I do get tension in my ropes, I'm going to bend my elbows as I roll down. I'm going to bring the dowel so it's like right over my belly button. And then I'm going to keep pulling back as I extend over my box. My arms are reaching behind me, and I'm just going to extend nice and long over. Take a deep inhale here. Then at the same time that my arms go up, I'm going to bring my chin towards my chest. My arms stay long, and I'm rolling up one vertebrae at a time. And then when I get up, I will get that slack again. So let's keep going with those. Exhale, tuck, roll. When I get tension in my ropes, that's when I'm going to bend my elbows wide. Keep rolling back. Pull your arms all the way back behind you. Take a deep inhale here. And then again, we're going to exhale at the same time. Arms go up. We go chin to the chest. We roll our spines all the way back up. And then again, we take an inhale at the top. Let's continue with those. Now, if the extension doesn't feel good in your neck, so you can always keep your neck in line with your spine, so you do not have to look all the way back. Again, if that's too much on your necks. But hopefully it does feel good on your back to get into that nice extension reaching back. We're going to do a few more of those, just warming up our core, warming up our arms. Okay, let's do two more. Exhale, roll. Inhaling as we reach back. Exhaling as we come all the way back up. Inhaling at the top. And then last one. And exhale. Okay, now once we come back up, we're just gonna go ahead, pause at the top. We can scoot ourselves a little further back, and then we are gonna add on a medium spring with our existing heavy. So one heavy, one medium spring on, and then I'm just gonna scoot a little further back on my box. From here, we're gonna do bicep curls. If you want this heavier, you can switch to your short loops instead of your long, which I'm gonna do. Arms are gonna reach out nice and long. We're sitting up nice and tall. On an exhale, we're gonna curl in. Inhale to extend, exhale, curl, inhale, extend. Just right into those bicep curls. Sitting up nice and tall. Abs are into our backs. Okay, let's go for 4 more. 2 and 1. Okay, then once we extend the arms, we're gonna pause. I'm gonna tuck my pelvis, roll about halfway back, hold here, bicep curls at this halfway point. Exhale, curl, inhale, extend, curl, extend, keeping that nice tuck of our pelvises. Ooh, really feeling those arms working here. Okay, I'm gonna go 3, 2, 1, and then we're gonna come all the way back up. Okay, now I am gonna change back to my long loops for this next one. You can stay on your short. Again, it's gonna be a little heavier. You can always change your straps as needed. I'm gonna go ahead and just set my dowel, hopefully it stays there, set my dowel in my headrest. We're gonna flip to our short box, and it is gonna stay in front of our shoulder blocks. Now, I want this a little heavier, so I'm gonna add on a light spring with my existing heavy medium. So I have one heavy, one medium, one light spring. Very carefully, we are gonna stand on our reformer, so this is gonna be the advanced portion of the workout. I'm gonna grab my dowel and I'm gonna make sure that I don't pull out when I do this. I'm just gonna take my hands onto the box. We're gonna stand on our carriages facing our boxes. Now, when we step here, again, this is our more advanced version. So if you cannot do this, you can always sit on your butts on the box. Left foot is gonna stay on the carriage. Right foot is gonna go behind us on the platform. I'm gonna take my hands wide. Now, very carefully, I'm gonna stand up. Both legs are gonna be nice and long, and then my arms are long as well. Palms are rotated towards the floor. My dowel is about like hip height. Now, from this position, my right toes, balls of my feet are just on the edge of the platform. We're gonna go into some lunges. So bending both knees, I'm gonna pull the dowel up to my chest, and then I'm gonna extend my arms long as I come back up. So exhale, pull down, inhale, extend. So it's not just the arms, and it's not just the legs. They're working together to move the carriage in and out, or technically out and in. Pull and extend. I'm going to exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up. Being mindful that my wrists are staying long when I pull the dowel in. Let's do 4, 2. Okay, now on this last one, we're gonna hold down here. We're just gonna extend the arms, both knees stay bent, and pull. Just extend the arms and pull. Inhale, exhale, out, pull in. Knees have to stay bent, wrists stay long. Pull to your chest and extend. 4, shoulders are down. 2, 1, and extend. Okay, now once we come back, both legs are gonna stay long, arms stay long, this time into splits. I'm gonna push both legs out long, and I'm just gonna press the dowel to my thighs, and I'm gonna release. Not much movement there. Exhale, press, inhale back. I'm getting my carriage maybe like a foot and a half out, and return. So lats, triceps this time. And then you are still again using your legs to push out. I'm especially feeling that left leg hamstring. Relaxing the shoulders. Okay, let's do 3 more. 2 and 1. Okay, and then back. Now, this is where it gets very challenging. You can fold forward, let your carriage come all the way in, take your hands onto the box. The right foot now goes onto the carriage. Again, this is where it gets hard because both feet need to stay on the carriage. I'm gonna have my feet about hip distance away from each other, maybe a little wider than that. Be very careful when you stand up. Stabilizing legs, glutes, core. Okay, we're gonna sink down into a little squat. Abs are in, we're gonna row back up to our chest, extend, row, extend. Again, stabilize legs, glutes, core. Exhale, pull, inhale back. Let's do 5. 2, whoop, 1, and back. Okay, we can stand all the way up. Be very, very careful again. We're gonna press the dowel to the thighs, release, straight arms to the thighs, release. So straight arms, straight legs. And I am leaning slightly back so I don't get pulled forward. Feel those lats, triceps engage. Again, it's not much movement for this one. Okay, let's do 4, 2, 1. Okay, then again, we can fold forward carefully. You can take your hands onto the box. The right foot now is gonna stay on the carriage. The left toes, balls of our feet go behind us on the wooden platform. When one side is definitely gonna be easier to balance than the other. I already know this is my more challenging side. Okay, carefully, we're gonna stand up. Arms and legs are long to start. They're gonna bend together. So ready, let's bend the knees, pull the dowel into the chest, and then extend. Exhale, pull, sink into those lunges. Both knees bend, and we extend. Exhale down, inhale up. Again, arms and legs working together. Trying to keep our wrists long. Okay, I'm gonna do 4 more, and the last one we're gonna hold. Okay, last one we're gonna hold here. Now just the arms extend, just the arms pull. Out, in, out, in. Ooh, my arms are really feeling this. Deltoids into those traps. Sink a little deeper for those legs to burn. 3, 2, 1, and back. Okay, arms, legs stay long this time. We're gonna go into splits and then lats and triceps. So I'm gonna press my dowel straight to my thighs and my legs just push out and in. Exhale, press, inhale back. This should be a nice little break from that last one. Again, I'm feeling like the back of my right leg when I push and resist. Trying to keep my shoulders down. I'm still feeling my traps too. 3 more. 2 and 1. Okay, let your carriage come all the way in. Fold forward, take your hands or like the dowel into the box. Again, we have to stand with both feet on our carriages now. I have mine about hip distance, probably a little wider than my hips. Very, very carefully. We're gonna stand up. Palms obviously stay rotated to the floor. Ready? Bend the knees. Sink into that nice little squat. Row up, extend, row up, extend. Abs are in. For 4, 2, 1. Okay, stand all the way up. Be very careful on this one because you do want to get like pulled forward. So I'm leaning just ever so slightly back. Legs, arms stay long. We press to the hips, we release. We press to the hips, we release. Again, range of motion isn't very big for this one. But I want the backs of the bodies to work. So those lats, the big nice muscles that run up and down the sides of your back, we really want those lats to fire, release. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and then release. Now we can fold forward. I just want you to set your dowels down, keep your straps connected to them. We are gonna change our springs. Now, my arms are kind of done. So I'm gonna go to 1 heavy, but if you wanna make this heavier, you can always keep on your light spring with your heavy. So 1 heavy for sure, 1 heavy, 1 light if you want it a little heavier, and then grab your dowels. We're gonna sit on your boxes facing your foot bars. Obviously, if you want it heavy, you can do the short loops too. All right, now when I sit, I'm gonna take my dowel in front of me, so I'm inside my straps here, And then once we get here, I just have my dowel like resting on my stomach right now. It really doesn't matter where you're sitting on your box. Take the dowel into your hand with your palms flipped up to the ceiling. Then from here, I'm gonna take it right to my belly button. I'm sitting up nice and tall. On an exhale, I'm gonna reach my arms out about chest shoulder height, and then I'm gonna go back down to my belly button. Exhale as I reach, and then inhaling as I come back. Hopefully getting into our biceps now a little more with the palms flipped up. Exhale out, inhale, return. Okay, let's go for 4. 2, and 1. Okay, now I'm just gonna relax it down onto my belly button. I'm gonna rotate my palms to the floor, chest press. We're gonna take it to the chest with our elbows wide. We're gonna exhale, just press straight out, straight in, straight out, straight in. And ooh, my deltoids and traps are already tired from that last series. I think sitting up nice and tall, sits bones should be anchored. Abs are always in towards our backs. 4 more. And then last one. Ooh, okay. Then I'm gonna rest it back down onto my stomach. My hands are gonna go to the center of the dowel. They're right next to each other. Palms are gonna be rotated to the floor. I'm gonna take my dowel overhead and then behind it, bending my elbows with a flat back. I'm gonna hinge forward, ready? Tricep extensions. We're exhaling to extend. We bend, extend, and bend. Elbows should be staying in the same spot. We're just extending those arms and then bending. Again, just trying to keep our wrists long. Let's do 3. And 1. Okay, now just take the dowel carefully behind your head. We are gonna go ahead, get rid of our straps and our dowel for now. We will come back to it later. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and set them off to the side. Okay, 1 heavy and 1 medium spring now. So again, on my balanced body, that's a red and a blue. Let's go into some glutes. We'll give our arms a bit of a break. We're gonna kneel on our reformers facing our box. And then once we kneel, I'm gonna go ahead and just take my knees right now up against my box. It's just easier to stabilize when we do that. And then I'm gonna take my elbows just right towards the edge of my box. So on the elbows, on the knees. I'm gonna take my right heel onto the foot bar. I'm gonna keep my toes pointed to the floor. And then on an exhale, I'm gonna push my carriage out with my heel. And then I'm bending to come back in. Exhale away, inhale back. Now, if you don't wanna be on your forearms, technically, you can take your hands onto your headrest if you'd like. And I actually think I'm just gonna stay here. So forearms or on your wrists, it's up to you. Now, every time we push, we are squeezing our glutes. My abs are in to my back, shoulders, hips are parallel to the floor. Squeeze your booty. For 4, 2, and 1. And in. Okay, now, again, it's gonna be up to you. I'm gonna stay on my headrest. You can either take your left forearm onto the box, or you can keep your left forearm in your headrest. Again, I'm gonna stay here, and then we're gonna move into an external rotation. So my right foot is now parallel on the foot bar. My toe should be pointed to the right side. I'm just gonna hold onto the box with my right hand, and then we're gonna push out and in. Again, you do not have to be all the way down here onto the headrest. If you don't want to, you can be on the box if you'd like. Just trying to get into a little more of your glute med, glute min in this external rotation. Last series was more of our glute max. Let's go 5, 2, and 1. Okay, all the way back in. Set that knee down. Again, same thing on the other side. You can either be onto your elbows or you can take your hands onto the outsides of your headrest. I'm gonna go left heel onto the foot bar, toes should be pointed to the floor, knees should be pointed straight down. We're gonna exhale to push out and inhale back. And my right thigh is just resting up against the box. Shoulders and hips are parallel to the floor. I'm squeezing my butt. So I'm thinking right where my glute connects to my hamstring, I'm squeezing that to push out and resisting it. Think scoop into your core so those abs are nice and active. Okay, let's do 4, 2, and 1. Okay, then once we come back in, same thing. You can either take your right forearm down onto the box and rotate to the left side, or you can take your forearm down into your headrest and rotate to the left side. It really doesn't matter. Just make sure that the left foot is parallel on the foot bar. The toes should be pointed to left. We're gonna go out and in, out and in for, again, glute means, glute mins, and that external rotation. And then after these, we're gonna do some hamstrings. And we should feel that more on like the outside of our butts by our hips. 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, okay, bring it back in. Again, moving into our hamstrings. Now, when we get into hamstrings, we are gonna change to just a medium spring. I'm gonna take that heavy spring off. Boxes are gonna stay here. We're gonna step into our well, facing our box. We're gonna do one leg at a time just because it's so much easier for this. I'm gonna take my strap into my right hand. I'm gonna go short loop, I was just about to say long, short loop on the arch of my foot. Now you can either step the foot onto the frame or the headrest. I think frame's easier. And just know, when you pick your leg up, the strap will adjust itself. So it's not on the top of your foot, it's gonna be on the bottom of your foot. We're gonna kneel on our boxes, facing the foot bars. Before I take my hands down, ready? I'm gonna pick my right foot up, flex it, and make sure that strap stays on, again, the bottom of your foot, like right on your arch, and then feel free to set the knee down. You can always adjust it if you need to. Then our hands are gonna go onto the carriage, so we're angled down, and my knees are more towards the back side. When we get here, I'm curling my hands over the edge of the carriage. It's much easier to hold like that. I'm gonna lift my this is my right. I'm gonna lift my right knee up, and then I'm gonna extend my leg. I need to keep tension in my rope, so when I do lose that tension, I'm gonna pause, and I'm gonna bring my heel to my glute. I'm gonna extend my leg and bring my heel to my glute. Now, obviously, I cannot get into a full extension without losing that tension. So inhale out, right when again you lose that tension, you pull in. Abs are in. Feel those hamstrings, feel those glutes. Let's do 4. Now on this last one, I'm gonna curl all the way in, and I'm just gonna go about halfway out with my leg hold. I'm gonna push my heel up to the ceiling, bring it down, lift my heel up, and down. So I'm trying to keep my knee bent at like that halfway point, and I'm just kicking my heel up and down, and it's a pretty small movement. Kick and bring it back, up and down. Oh, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, okay, you can just kick that strap off your foot. Oh, we don't have to hang it back up. We're gonna take our hands onto our box, and very carefully, we're gonna step back into our well. Okay, feel free if you wanna hang your strap up, you can. Before I do the other side, I'm just gonna walk back, take my hands onto the box, and stretch out that right hamstring. Okay, then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So I'm gonna grab my strap, short loop goes onto the arch of the foot. You can step onto the frame or in your headrest. I think frame's just a little easier. And then I'm gonna kneel on my box facing the foot bar. Again, the strap should adjust itself when you pick that foot up. So it should be on the arch of your left foot. Take your hands onto the 2 front corners of your carriage. Knees are back. We're gonna lift that left leg up. Okay, first thing we're doing is extending and bringing the heel to the glute. So we extend, we go heel to glute, extend, and heel to glute. Inhale out and exhale in. And I'm trying to ideally keep my thigh in like the same lift the entire time. Now, it is moving up and down a little bit, that's fine, but just don't go like up, down, up, down, up, down quite yet. Okay, let's do 4, 3, and then last one. Now on this one, I'm gonna go about halfway out, hold. I'm gonna kick my heel up and down, up and down, and I'm gonna try to keep that knee bent halfway. Kick the heel up and down. Again, it's a pretty small movement. Abs are in. Kick and down, up and down. Ooh, I'm really feeling that glute. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, okay. You can shake that strap off of your foot. We can step off, or you can just step off and take the strap off. Okay, back into our stretch. I'm gonna step back, hands on the box. I'm just gonna drop my chest down. Feel free to walk your feet as far back as you would like, and just hold. If you wanna hold on to the frame, you can hold on to the frame. It really doesn't matter. I just want you to give your hamstrings a nice stretch here. Okay, then we're gonna come up and our box is coming off. We can just set our box off to the sides. And then once we get our box off to the side, I'm gonna change to a heavy spring again. And I'm going to take off the medium. Now, foot bar should be fine to stay up. If your heads do hit them, obviously put them down, but they should be fine for most. We're gonna grab our dowels, and then I am going to rotate my shoulder blocks just because my legs don't fit nicely through my shoulder blocks. If you need to crisscross your legs, if your shoulder blocks don't rotate, you can always crisscross. We're gonna grab the straps off the pegs. Now, we're gonna move into some core work. So if you go long loop through, technically it's gonna be a little more challenging. If you go short loops through your dowels, technically it's gonna be a little easier, and really it's not that much of a difference, but up to you if you go long or short. Make sure we have a palm's width away from us in the back of our carriage. You can have more than that, just no less than that. Okay, hands are on the outsides of the dowels, palms are rotated to the floor. Since I have my long loops, I do have slack in my straps. That is fine. We are sitting up nice and tall. On an exhale, I'm gonna tuck my pelvis. I'm gonna think I'm sending my tailbone towards my heels and I'm rolling down to my sacrum. So I'm trying to get the lowest part of my back down. Again, the headrest should be fine just because we're not going super far back. We're inhaling here and I'm exhaling to come all the way back up. So again, I'm gonna exhale, tuck, roll back, send my tailbone towards my heels, pause for an inhale, exhale, come all the way back up. And that's all we're gonna do. Now, what I don't want you to do when you roll back is look up to the ceiling. No, I should be looking towards your toes or your core. We're gonna go for 3 more. And then last one. Okay, now once we come back up, we're gonna pause. This time, I'm gonna bend my knees just ever so slightly. My heels are my headrest. Again, make sure you have at least a palm's width away from you in the back of your carriage. You can have more than that. And then arms are gonna be long. Now, this time, my dowel is gonna be like lifted in line with my chest. I'm going to inhale to roll back, keep the dowel in the same spot, and exhale, come all the way back up. So now it's just an inhale to roll back and an exhale to come back up. So no pausing, inhale down and exhale up. These ones are a little quicker. Dowel stays in line with your chest about the entire time. It doesn't move. 4, 3, last one. And up. Now we're gonna go halfway back, pause, and we're gonna do little pulses of our chest up and down, up and down. Keep that dowel lifted. Shoulders are down out of the ears, little pulses. 3, 2, 1, and up. Okay, feel free to stretch your legs, stretch your arms, give your necks a little bit of a roll. The next time we go down, we're gonna add in some legs. So, dowel is gonna stay connected. Again, just like what we did before, I'm gonna have it about chest height. So I'm gonna keep it lifted up and I'm gonna try to keep my dowel at this level. I'm gonna tuck my pelvis and roll about halfway down, hold. Now on my next exhale, I'm gonna tap my right knee or my shin more to the dowel, set it down, lift the left, tap it, and then set it down. So feel free to go knee or shin, set down, knee, shin, set it down. So it's an exhale up, an inhale lower, exhale lift, inhale lower. Keep the tuck of the pelvis, keep the dowel lifted. So you should feel your deltoids and your cores. I want those obliques firing to lift and lower, lift and lower. Let's go 4, 3, 2, 1, and all the way back up. Okay, feel free to give your shoulders next a roll. We're gonna keep this dowel connected. We're just gonna sit off to the sides. Now, I'm gonna go through my short loops, but I am gonna keep that one heavy spring on. I'm not gonna go any heavier than that. We're gonna lie down onto our backs. Again, dowel is still in our hands. Hands should be on the outsides. Dowel is gonna be right over our chest. Oh, and if you rotated your shoulder blocks like me, feel free to rotate them back. Okay, neutral spines. Legs go up into our tabletop position. They're gonna be zipped together. Ab curls with leg extensions. We're gonna press, curl, reach those legs out to a challenging level. Inhale to return. Exhale, press, curl, reach, and inhale, return. So it should feel a little lighter than what we're used to with this red spring. I don't want it super heavy here for our core today. 3 more. And then last one. Ooh, okay. Relax the head, feet, and arms. The next time we go up, we're gonna hold our curls with our legs extended out. And the next one is gonna be the reason that I don't want it so heavy for our core. So let's reach the dowel back over our chest. Knees are going back up into our tabletop position, legs are zipped together. I'm gonna press, curl, reach out, hold. Just the arms lift up over the chest, just the arms pull down. We go to the chest, pull to the thighs, chest, thighs, abs are in, legs are zipped together. 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Okay, feel free to give it a little stretch. We're going to do the same thing. Ab curls, leg extensions, but we're doing tricep press with it this time. So let's start with our elbows bent into our sides. I'm gonna bend my elbows more so the dowel's like over my chest a little more to get a little more range of motion. Legs in our tabletop position, zip together. We're gonna press, curl, extend, bend the knees and the elbows. So every time we come up, we press the legs out. Every time we come in, we bend the knees back. Elbows stand toward rib cage the entire time. 2 more. And 1. Ooh, relax. Feel free to stretch. Okay, next time we hold and we're just gonna do triceps. So elbows into the ribs, knees in our tabletop position, legs are zipped together. Press, curl, reach, hold, bend the elbows and press. Inhale, exhale, keep those legs long and zip together, hold your curls. 3, 2, 1. Ouch. Okay, we're gonna hang our straps up onto the pegs. Once we hang our straps up, I can't find my pegs. Once we hang our straps up, we are going to set the dowels to the sides and we're gonna give ourselves a little stretch. So let's sit off to the side and then we can stay on this single heavy spring. If your shoulders are an issue, I'm personally gonna go to a blue spring instead to do a little stretch. Now, if, I say this every time, but if you have a reformer that's higher off the floor or if you have shorter legs, you're gonna walk around to the front of your reformer, you're gonna face your carriage with your hands on the 2 front corners, and you will do your stretch standing on the floor. If you are fine sitting on your reformer, you're gonna straddle your carriage facing the straps, hands are gonna go into the shoulder blocks. We're gonna lift our butts off of the carriages, and then I'm just gonna press my carriage out, drop my chest down in between my arms. And then I'm gonna exhale around through my spine to come back in. So think about this like a cat-cow. We're gonna push the carriage out, drop the chest down in between our arms, and then we can tuck round and come back in. Now we're just gonna do one more. Okay, then once I come back in, we're gonna pause and we're gonna take both hands onto the right shoulder block. So if you're on the carriage, just take them both to the right side of your carriage. We're gonna push out and find length in the left side of the body. My right hand is just on the outside of my shoulder block too. And I'm gonna round and come back in. And I'm gonna try to still find length in that left side when I come back in. So I'm gonna push away, find as much length in the left side of the body as I can, and then try to keep that length as you round to come back in. So you should get a stretch still when you come back in. 2 more. And then last one. Okay, same thing on the left side. Again, my right hand is gonna go to the top of the shoulder block, left hand to the side. Push out, find length in the right side of the body. And then keep that length as you round to come back in. 3 more. And then last one. Okay, from here, I'm gonna step off just to the right side of my carriage. I'm gonna go back to that single heavy spring, and then we're gonna face our foot bar, so our right side should be closer to the carriage. My right foot is gonna go back to the shoulder block closest to me. Left foot stays on the floor. Both hands go to our foot bars. We're gonna push our right knee out, push our left leg out for a little lunge. And you can really just hold wherever that feels good to stretch. Okay, then we can bring it back in, and we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So right foot on the floor, left foot back. We're gonna push out with the left, out with the right. And then again, the stretch is really up to you, whatever feels best in your bodies. Okay, then we can bring the carriages all the way back in. You can just sit off to the sides. You are all finished with that class. As always, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining me today.